Hey, this is Harry from Hotspur TV, and today we're going to do a little bit of a different format. So I'm filming this on my phone. So any feedback to this format is like advised. So if you prefer this, please let me know, or do you prefer the headphones? So today we're going to talk about Richarlison. As you guys know, obviously Kane's law gone. Yeah. So obviously we need a striker, and well, Richarlison is probably the most likely candidate to take over that position. And yeah, let's talk about it. Well, Richarlison reportedly is playing injured, which kind of says a lot because he kind of wants to play. And people love that about Son as well. Now, Richarlison, I'd argue, is actually younger than Son, and I think that's kind of plays in his favour here. And I know Son has been made captain, but if you look at Son's performance last season, I don't know if he deserved it, but I did that for another video. But also, I mean, Richarlison is more of a target man player. Son's more of like a poacher if we're going to play him there. So I think with Richarlison, you've got to give him maybe 10 or so games in a row to maybe, find some rhythm, and score some goals, really. That's what we bought him for. But Richarlison himself must feel that, he was bought as sort of like the successor to Harry Kane anyway, in some ways. And that's what people speculated, even back then, I'd say. And I would argue Richarlison has all the attributes that should be Spurs' top striker. And I say this because if you look at what he's done with Brazil, with actual supply, then he can do bits. If you guys attributes, he's tall. He's actually quite strong. He can hold the ball up. Contrary to popular belief, he can do that. And he did actually do that in a few instances in the first game of the season against Brentford. He does have pace. He can take on players. I'd say Richarlison's strongest suit is being like a fox in the box on the end of things. Like if Maddison plays the through balls, if Richarlison and Maddison can link up, we'll score tons of goals. But we need to give him a chance, really. And we need to give him, like I said, 10 games in a row. Let's see what he can do. If he doesn't do it in 10 games, that's fair enough. But if you're not going to give the kid a run of games up front, then what's the point in signing him? And I'm sure he feels aggrieved that last season was stuck down the right, which I have to say it really, really, really did affect his game. And that's why he only scored one Premier League goal. I think he only played, 1 or 2 games in his actual position last season, which for a player like him, it doesn't help. Let's be honest, it doesn't really help him. So if it was me, I'd drop Kulusevski and Son because they are not players that are going to supply Richarlison. Son is in here because he's captain, I guess. And Kulusevski again because they were the 2 of the 3 with Harry Kane. Now, a different dynamic with that is Kane used to drop off, so Son would kind of cut inside. Kulusevski kind of cut inside and try and find Son as well. In this way, Richarlison needs crosses, right? He needs proper crosses. So I'd put Porro or maybe Solomon down the right. And I'd put Perisic on the left, or you could even move Kulusevski down the left because he'll be forced to cross because he's left-footed. But Perisic and Porro might be my 2 alongside Richarlison, as you can see in the picture in the thumbnail. And I just put crosses and crosses and crosses in. Now, whether Andrew will have the balls to drop Son, I don't know. I really do. Sorry, hope he does. But that's how you get the best out of Richarlison, with crosses. And I think, like I said, you just need to give him a run of games. I think we saw with Brazil, he was unbelievable. Some of the goals he scored was unreal. And with proper supply, he had Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo, that's it. And he was scoring a hatful of goals. I'm not saying obviously Perisic and Porro are that sort of level, but Porro last season showed that he can, in fact, put a ball in. He's also scored a few goals. And with Perisic, he's probably our best crosser of the ball. Even stuck as a wing-back last season, he still got one of the highest number of assists in the team and probably even maybe in the league, I don't know. But we need to give Richarlison a chance at least. We can't just get rid of him. I'd still go out and sign a striker if we can. But like I said, with the Kane money, I'd rather spend it on defenders because the rest of the team, the midfield, kind of sorts itself out. I think for me, I'd rather make reinforcements in defence because the midfield's the strongest. And our attack, if we can get Richarlison firing, I'd say we'll be fine until January. If not, we can go and reevaluate in January. And if we can get Richarlison scoring 5, 6, 7 goals, maybe someone grabbing a few off the bench, I think we could do something. Obviously, it's a rebuilding job, right? But you've got to give him a chance. You've got to play him in his best position. You've got to give him a run of games. And like I said, you get the best out of him, you need to put players that can put in crosses. And unless some of these starts changing down the left and going on the outside and putting crosses like he used to do under Pochettino, in a very dismissed system, albeit, or Kulusevski starts using his right foot down the right, which is not going to happen. He's very left-footed. And like I said previously, I'd rather see Kulusevski in the middle anyway, but we need to give him a chance. We had to give him a chance. Anyway, this is Hotspur out.